Hey, what's up, Dev Crew? Today we're going to learn about why you're doing your job search all wrong. We're going to go over some statistics, some anecdotes, as well as 5 steps you can do to make your job search more successful. Let's do it. All right, guys, I spent 10 months getting my current job. It was all part-time. I had a job along the way, so don't judge me too much, but it took a long time and it was defeating, and I learned a lot of things along the way. Some of it was from Southlake Focus Group, some was from recruiters that I talked to, but most of this isn't original, but I hope it is golden. So let's drop some golden nuggets right now and go over to my computer.
Hey guys, you can see here where I applied to a ton of different jobs. And most of these were just your normal way of applying. Now these are all the jobs I applied to for my current job, and you can see I applied to over 120. I was implementing networking early on, but you can see here that I still spent a lot of time applying to jobs that I didn't necessarily have referrals for. And you can see on the side this referrals section, and most of these don't have any referrals in them at all. I'm gonna go over why the approach of just applying to a bunch of jobs is wrong. I saw a guy on LinkedIn who actually applied to like over 1,000 jobs. And this is why it's a really, really bad method. Here's the article I wanted to show you. It's on payscale.com. Payscale is a great site. I'm gonna go over this in another video. How you can use PayScale in your interviews and to get raises. But I wanted to highlight a few different things. So some estimate that upwards of 85% of open positions are filled through networking. Now it goes on to say that these estimates are between 70 and 85% depending on different sources that you have. I'll go ahead and include the link to this article as well down in the description below. But that is a tremendous amount. So 85%. So let's say you're spending 100% of your time just applying to jobs every day. Now, if you're spending 100% of that time and 85% of jobs are not filled through normal job applications, we've got a problem, right? You've got a problem with of being pragmatic and using your time wisely. The other reason that we go on a network is that 40% of new hires are referrals from employees inside of a company. That's nearly half of jobs come from referrals within a company. Now I've got 2 really cool stories about how networking helped me during my job hunt. So right around this time you saw this huge list. The first meetup I went to was around in August as well. And I knew that I needed to start networking more. And so I went to this meetup. I met a man, and he was working at a company doing a C# development. He was actually kind of the CTO or one of the head people. He wasn't quite the CTO, he was right below it. I got his car, and I was like, man, I'm not ready for this job interview. Long story short, I was the second one to interview at that job. I almost got an offer. I didn't get an offer because they didn't have the budget to hire me. But that was the very first networking meetup that I went to during my last job search. I almost got a job, and I would have gotten a job had I acted quickly and not been afraid. The second thing I want to relate was that through LinkedIn, I was able to network my way into a job interview with Pivotal. And I got through the entire job interview process. I didn't get an offer there, but considering the fact that I only had about 1.5 years of experience and they're asking for 3 years at such a big company is a really big thing. So that was another cool story that I had about why you should use networking instead of just applying to jobs mindlessly. So the next thing I have here is an article on Forbes from Interview Success. And they talk about something that's very interesting that I want you to know as well from a statistical standpoint. Now, the average number of people who apply for any given job is 118. I've heard different statistics on this. There are a ton of people who are applying to a specific job. So you applying to a job blindly doesn't give you good success. Now, the other thing that you're doing wrong when you're applying to jobs is you're applying to jobs that are old and probably already filled, or that you're coming in later in the process that you might not be more qualified for. So I'm going to go over some things now that you can do to help you be more successful in your job search. So number 1, What are some rules that you can have, some simple rules that you can follow for how to get a job interview? So the first one is only spend about 20% of your time max on job applications. So that meaning you're going to Indeed or LinkedIn or Glassdoor, et cetera, and just applying with your resumes. So only spend 20% of your time on that. The rest of your time, roughly, is networking and related things. So what do I mean by networking and related things? So networking is you're going out to meetups, you're going out on LinkedIn and trying to connect with people and ask them good, engaging questions. You're going onto LinkedIn and asking them about their job and then trying to get a referral into that company. That's exactly what happened to me with Pivotal, is I actually reached out to an employee there and asked him, and he wanted the referral bonus and got me in to interviews, and it stepped me all the way through the process. I actually got a day-long interview there, and I attribute a lot of that to the networking that I was able to do. Why don't you leave some comments below as to other related things you might do that might include networking. One thing that John Sonmez likes to say is to go on people's blogs at companies that you're targeting and try to engage with them and go for like more of a long-term engagement so that they will recognize you, and over time you'll kind of wear them down. Not wear them down by bothering them asking for a job, but they'll know who you are, and they'll be like, hey, maybe we should hire this guy after you ask so many questions. And because people hire people that they like, right? They have to have some minimum level of competency, and they have to like you. If you have a minimum amount of competency and the other guy, is barely getting by socially, they're probably going to pick you as long as you can fit the bill or learn quickly. So what's some other things that we want to look for inside of our job search? Well, we want to target specific companies. So stop trying to just work anywhere and everywhere. Try to target specific companies and then network with people that know about those companies. So start to network with people that have connections into those companies. Doing this will make you seem like you're more interested working at a specific company and help you to seem more passionate about working there, and you'll be more likely to get a job at that company. So what's something else that you can do with your resumes? Well, here's two simple rules I'm going to suggest. I've used the first one. And this one is only apply to jobs that are 72 hours old. And once I started doing this, I started getting more interviews when I was in the first 72 hours. I think we already talked about this before, but this is really important. Something else on the opposite side of this is try to apply or 1 or 2 months old. The current job I got, I think it was in October when they posted it, and I was applying in like February or March. So that was like 4 or 5 months had gone by, and I was able to get an interview there. So it could be longer or shorter. And the final principle that I'll say using these rules is try different things until you get different results. So try to A/B test and change what you're doing until you get different results. Hey guys, I hope you now know what you should do to find a new job. I hope some of these tips helped out. Please leave some comments below as to what other tips you should do and things you should avoid, because I want to learn from you as well. We're building a community here. Also, if you don't know who I am, I'm Tyler Lemke. I'm a full stack web developer. I'm also a speaker, instructor, and a career hacker. And I would like you to subscribe as well if you want more great content like this, and make sure to share it too. We'll see you in the next one.